Ron Wyden. You're obviously not part of this campaign, but Washington's really taken to it, hasn't it?
I'm very much a part of the campaign that Scott is waging, because the fact is, if you want an innovation economy, you've got to empower the innovators. We have so many young people all across the country. We've seen it in Oregon with a wonderful breakthrough company called Urban Airship, where we've got young people who are just, for example, a couple of years out of school. They're really folks who are tech savvy. They've got a wonderful work ethic. They might be sleeping on a friend's couch, and they are thinking big and they're dreaming big, and they're in a position, if the government just gets smart and sets up these new policies, we can have a lot of new entrepreneurs. I wrote the law, for example, that lets some of the folks who are getting unemployment use those very same benefits, no extra money, those very same benefits, pool their dollars, and that's how we got Urban Airship off the ground. It's now one of the big draws for Silicon Valley with mobile apps.
Give us an example, another example if you could, about how Washington is actually latching on to fix young America, a piece of legislation, and actually with money behind it. Give us a good example of what's changing.
Well, I'm very pleased about what happened this week with the jobs bill, where we showed support for crowdfunding. I think this is a chance, again, with modest amounts of capital, to use the opportunity to generate net-based businesses. Recently, I introduced a major education bill called the Student Right to Know Before You Go Act. So in the future, parents and prospective students can know more about the kinds of careers that are going to pay good wages. It's almost like you have a triangle there. We ought to be reinventing these government programs like the employment laws to create opportunities for entrepreneurs. Let's look at crowdfunding changes to create opportunities for small amounts of capital to make an investment in innovation. And then our Student Right to Know Before You Go Act will help us to get more for the education dollar.
Very broad, and Scott was very broad as well, but is there a risk here that this becomes too big and people can't grasp what this is about? What's the defining thread to all of this, which it can be sold to young people who are disillusioned in America right now? Well,
the defining thread is with approaches like I just outlined, crowdfunding, changing the unemployment system to make it a springboard for new innovative businesses. What we're showing is that these government programs that have been kind of in a time warp, that are just decades behind in terms of looking at the potential for young entrepreneurs. Remember, a lot of these businesses, when you think about Google and Facebook and the like, were started by folks in their dorm rooms. I mean, there's a tremendous amount of energy and talent and innovative capacity out there with this generation. I see it at my town hall meetings. I have open community meetings in each of Oregon counties. These young people come, they talk about their work ethic and the technology that they've mastered. And they're saying, just change these government programs so I can become an entrepreneur, and that's what I've been able to do.